Hey there, let's talk about something that's been sold to us as strength, but is actually slowly burning us out. We've been told that resilience means pushing through no matter what. Keep going, don't break, don't rest, don't feel. But what if I told you that kind of resilience isn't resilience at all? It's survival and it's toxic. Because when we glorify the grind and endure, we disconnect from what actually makes us strong: alignment, presence, and recovery. We live in a world that worships toughness. We celebrate the leader who never stops, never cracks, never slows down, like that's the actual goal. But here's what that really looks like: leaders running on empty, teams walking on eggshells, and burnout being mistaken for commitment. This is toxic resilience. It's what happens when strength becomes self abandonment, when we mistake exhaustion for excellence, when we push through instead of pausing, and then wonder why we feel resentful, depleted, or numb. And I get it because I've lived it. I was the queen of "I've got this" until my body said, "No, you don't." Here's the truth most people miss: resilience isn't built in the grind, it's built in the recovery and the wisdom you take from it. Real resilience isn't about how much you can take, it's about how quickly you can realign when you're off center. It's about self awareness, emotional regulation, and boundaries, not superhuman stamina. Old rule: push through. New rule: pause and recalibrate. Old rule: hold it together. New rule: be honest enough to realign before you collapse. That's what liberated leadership looks like. Strong, yes, but sustainable. I'll tell you a story. There was a season in my career where I was everyone's rock. I constantly pushed through. I never slowed down. And I thought that made me a great leader. People could count on me. I was reliable and I followed through until I ended up sick AF. Physically and mentally, I was completely spent. That was my wake up call. I realized I'd built a reputation on being unstoppable, but I'd lost touch with what made me human. So I started to rebuild my resilience from the inside out through rest, boundaries, nourishment. And it didn't make me weaker, it made me wiser. My creativity and my joy came back. People around me relaxed. And suddenly we were all performing better because I was leading from alignment, not adrenaline. So here's your invitation: stop celebrating suffering as strength. Resilience doesn't mean you never fall, it means you know how to rise wiser without losing yourself in the process. Ask yourself, what version of resilience are you modeling right now? And is it one your team can sustain or just survive? Because real leadership isn't about being invincible, it's about being intentional. We don't need tougher leaders, we need truer ones. I'm Katie Schuelke, and this is the Liberated Leader. Because you don't need to prove your strength, you need to protect your power.